Hello everybody, Goldenary here with a special video. If you read the description in the video I uploaded yesterday, you know that I didn't upload this earlier because I was grieving. Um, the world got a lot less cool yesterday. Um, Rest in peace to the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. Um, and I don't mean just the greatest boxer. Perhaps I mean just the greatest. Muhammad Ali was the greatest. Um, I'm going to use this video to talk about a match that most probably aren't aware happened, but sometime in the 1970s at the Nippon Budokan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Muhammad Ali fought Antonio Inoki in what many historians claim to be the first MMA fight of all time. So add something else to the legendary life that Muhammad Ali had. Technically invented mixed martial arts, which is now seen in UFC. He technically invented rap, which everybody knows hip hop. Ali was just a wonderful, incredible personality, and really a one in a lifetime kind of person. For those that don't know Antonio Inoki, he was a very popular professional wrestler, very big in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and is still widely considered an icon for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He also had a background in either Taekwondo or Karate. I'm not entirely sure. But they did have a match, and it's a very interesting match to see. For those of you that haven't watched it, I'll explain it to you. Basically, the match starts. Inoki runs at Ali, does a sweeping kick to Ali's leg, falls on his back, and then stays there for the entire rest of the match. Inoki realizes that he couldn't stand toe to toe with Ali, obviously. So he lays down flat on his back, and he's using his feet the entire match. I've actually seen the match back when the entire match was uploaded on YouTube a few years ago. I don't think it is anymore. You can probably find highlights, however. And Inoki is just on his back the entire time, kicking Ali's legs. And Ali's trying to get in, trying to throw punches, but he can't do it. And then you hear Ali shouting things like, "Coward Inoki, stand up and fight." And Inoki, he wouldn't do it. He stayed flat on his back, and he would continuously kick Ali for the entirety of the fight. The entire 15 rounds was just Inoki throwing kicks at Ali, not letting Ali get in. At the end of the match, Ali's feet were just bloody and swollen, a complete mess, but they respected each other afterwards, and they actually became good friends. And even though a lot of people at the time, and even some historians to this day, consider it Ali's most embarrassing defeat and this, that, and the other, it was really a draw. And the reason it's so important to history and why I say it's one of the modern MMA fights, it was the first MMA fight, is because you have a wrestler who's trained in mat work, in being on the ground. He was most comfortable on his back. That is where Inoki was comfortable. And Ali wasn't comfortable on the ground. He couldn't get on the ground on his knees and start wailing Inoki because he's a boxer. He's used to standing up. And I think because of that, they created what you see there in groundwork, in which you get on the ground and you pummel your opponent, that we take advantage of today because it's so prevalent in our society. Everybody knows MMA, everybody knows UFC. So we don't think that it had to come from somewhere, and where it came from was the mind of Inoki and Ali and putting this match together. So because of that match, boxers and other martial artists started saying, okay, well, what could have Ali have done? What could have Inoki has done? And that's where you get mixed martial arts from, is that match. That match gave birth to it. And I have some interesting stuff here by Vince McMahon. It was in his book. He says, the Ali Inoki fight was initially supposed to be a work. Absolutely it was. But then Ali came to Japan, took one look at Inoki and said, shit, I can beat him. And of course, all of Ali's crew, his cornermen, Danny Brown, and all those guys said, "Yeah, champ, you can beat him. You can kick his ass. Come on." And so it turned into a shoot. So as you see, it was supposed to be a work. It was supposed to be a fake fight. But then Ali got overconfident, according to Vince, and it turned into a real fight. Um, Interestingly enough, in that book that I just read a passage from, Vince goes on to explain how he would have booked the match, how he would have had it go down, and how he would have made it so that the fans would have wanted a rematch. Obviously, Vince is always a businessman. He's always trying to get you into wanting to watch a rematch, trying to get you to watch a part two, so that he makes money off of part one and part two. Also, another interesting tidbit I found here on Wikipedia. It seems Ali and it says here in 1998, 38 years after wrestling debut, Inoki retired. Ali flew out from America to watch Inoki in his final match. After the match, Ali climbed into the ring and hugged Inoki. And then a representative read a message over the PA system, and the message is as followed. It was 1976 when I fought Antonio Inoki at the Budokan. In the ring, we were tough opponents. After that, we built love and friendship with mutual respect. So I feel a little less lonely now that Antonio has retired. It is my honor to be standing on the ring with my good friend after 22 years. Our future is bright and has a clear vision. Antonio Inoki and I put our best efforts into making world peace through sport, to prove there is only one mankind beyond the sexual, ethnical, or cultural differences. It is my pleasure to come here today. So as you see, Ali was always a stand-up guy, truly the greatest. Even in what some would consider a defeat, even though it was ruled a draw, he stayed classy to the end, and he wanted to push forward his message of humanity, which everybody should heed. I don't care what color, race, belief, or creed. We're all humans, and that's all Ali ever tried to say. Rest in peace to the greatest of all time.